I know there's some of y'all that have watched my videos that can probably relate to what she writes too. Hey y'all, it's Morgan and welcome to the video. Today I want to talk about a book that I just finished up. It is Everything is Always Changing by Mindfully Evie. I really resonated with this book, so I want to share a bit about it with you guys, and maybe y'all will check it out and get a little something from it. So in this book, the author documents their journey going from housebound to venturing out into the world and the complexities of the inner thoughts and emotions and the setbacks and the going forward and just all of the things. She documented her thoughts along the way, and that is pretty much what this is. It is formatted into little pieces. Some are very short, some are kind of like poems, and some are like prose, and I'll just show you. So this is a pretty quick book to get through. I'll give you some examples of like what the pages look like. So they're not like filled to the brim with words, which I appreciated. Read it in a couple days. It could probably be read in one. I don't read many books in this type of format, but I really liked it, so maybe I'll read more that are kind of written like this. So Evie takes us on a journey through 3 different phases that she goes through chronologically: underground, emerging, and blooming. And in each section there's a range of emotions. There's joy, there's grief, there's neutrality, there's acceptance, there's a lot, which I really appreciated. It wasn't just the good parts, it wasn't just the bad parts. And as someone who is primarily housebound myself, I found this book very relatable, and I've never read a book where I don't know, felt so seen. I'm like half into self-help books. Like I read them, but like only take some of it away because like some of it just doesn't apply to me. Like I don't have endless energy. Nobody does, but I have a lot less. And just different things because of my own health stuff. And I don't know if this would be considered a self-help book, but that's kind of what it felt like a little bit, of just remembering to take it slow. And it's okay to feel all of the emotions, and there is no wrong way to feel, and reminding yourself to take it slow. And like even when you're in recovery, like you don't have to be pushing so hard to like be productive. Like you can still prioritize your self-care and rest, and you should. And I feel like she really balances out really well the lessons you learn from being sick and having a chronic illness. Like it's very complex. It's not like, oh, I'm so sad all the time, which like it might be. That might be a phase you're in. But like there's a lot of lessons that come with it that you wouldn't have learned otherwise. So like the current you couldn't exist without going through the stuff you went through, and like yeah, it sucked. And like it's okay to acknowledge that too. But like it's okay to be on your own path at your own pace, and like it doesn't have to look like anybody else's, and that's perfectly okay. And if you've been keeping up with me on my hysterectomy vlogs and recovery, I've made a lot of progress since my surgery last July, but like I'm not great. I'm still primarily housebound. I'm able to go out way more than I used to, and I'm so grateful for that. And I can socialize more, but like I still have to recover from things, and I still don't want to go far away from the house and different things. And recently I just kind of ended up back in a pain flare, and I had a lot of emotions and feelings come flooding in about taking steps backwards, and it's temporary and I'll get better and I'll move on, but like it's just weird navigating. It's weird and it's unpredictable, and life with a chronic illness and chronic pain, it's just different. And I feel like this book really captures what that's like, especially if you're housebound and you've been housebound for a bit and you're trying to go back into the world. Like it's a whole host of new experiences practically, like figuring out how to exist in public spaces and do normal things, and it's all just very weird. So I feel like I came across this book at a good time, at the right time for me, because it's helping me kind of feel my feels right now and be okay with that. And So much of what she wrote in here feels like what I could have written in my own diary. The thoughts that she was having, the experiences she was having. So I know there's some of y'all that have watched my videos that can probably relate to what she writes too. And it was giving me goosebumps, and at times like I could kind of feel tears in my eyes, and it just took you through the motions. And one of the things that I really liked about the book, so like in each phase, like she kind of writes in chronological order, and like there's kind of like an ebb and flow throughout each chapter of the emotions and things, and like self-soothing, and if you're having hard times, and like all of these things. So there is no like this phase is bad and this one is great and this one's even better. Like all of the emotions and stuff exist in all of the phases. And she talks a bit about grief hitting in like the later phases, and I feel that too. Like when you're housebound and you're sick and you're just focusing on the day-to-day and you're in survival mode, there are things you kind of put off grieving and processing. And once you start getting back in the flow of things and you're getting out of survival mode, you kind of get hit with all of those things that you didn't quite process, or that you have new stages of that to process. So if you've got a chronic illness or chronic pain or something that has kept you bedbound or housebound, I would definitely check out this book, especially if you're kind of entering into a recovery phase where you're progressively kind of getting better. This book is definitely helpful with navigating your internal state. I also have another book from Mindfully Evie. I haven't read it yet, but she wrote it before this one. It's called Within These Four Walls, which is she wrote while she was housebound the entire time. But you don't need to read that before reading this one. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this. I've got some other books that I plan to read about chronic illness and people living with chronic illnesses and navigating life that way. So hopefully there will be more videos like this in the future, and hopefully you liked this. And if you did, hit the like button please. And if you want to see more of these in the future, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you again soon in the next one. Bye!